Hey guys, it's Nathan here from the TurfCast podcast, the number one Burnley podcast. First of all, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram. We're on all the usuals. Just search TurfCast and it'll come up. We're pretty visible on there. It's easy to find. But life as a Burnley fan at the minute, you know what? It's good. It's good. It's exciting. It's I feel like even though we've been in the Premier League, quite a good chunk of years, it still feels like new territory this time because we've got a new manager, new style of play, new owners, new sort of vision around the club. It's all exciting. It's all very exciting. A bit unknown, a bit I don't know, a bit scary as well. A little bit, we don't know how this season's going to pan out. Can we get the team firing on all cylinders quick enough? Convince them to do it in the Premier League. Has the new owners got enough to keep up with the Premier League? I mean, at the minute it's showing like they are. We've made some pretty good signings over the summer. So, but yeah, overall, life as a Burnley fan is pretty decent, to be honest with you. It's exciting. Exciting times ahead for the club. It's on the up. It's definitely a club on the up. Last few games have been pretty, I would say, underwhelming, but not unexpected. We played Man City, we played Villa. I know we had Forest in the Cup. We got a 1-0 win there, which was good. I think that was needed. We needed to get them defeats out of the way and get a win under our belt. But the first performance against City was positive. It was really good. It was progressive. It was, aggressive on the press. I thought we matched City quite well. We actually stifled them to not that many chances. When we give a really good account of ourselves, it was just, they just had Erling Haaland on the pitch and vastly more talented players than us. It was inevitable. It was always going to happen. As for the Villa game, that was probably a bit underwhelming on our part. The first half was an absolute disaster. We just couldn't get out of first gear. We couldn't match Villa in what they wanted to do. They just let us have the ball and we just couldn't break them down. We just couldn't do anything in any given chance. They just put 10 passes together and picked us off and had an attempt on goal. The second half came in that game and we looked pretty good, actually. We stepped on them a little bit. We pressed them really well. We got really aggressive and intent and we got a goal out of it and it looked like it was going to be a good comeback, but they nicked one and just killed the game at 3-1 and after that. So after the second half of that, we all came away thinking a bit more positively about the performance and the team in general. So on the whole, it's been a bit of a disappointing start, but not an unexpected start. We've got a pretty tricky run of games, Tottenham included in that, for the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, we're just going to have to keep dusting ourselves off and go again and just try and fight for that first win and then get them points on the board. As for Saturday, I think we've got two teams that do play very similarly. We've got two managers from sort of the sort of school of Pep, that play that sort of way. I think we've got very similar formations, very similar tactical sort of nuances that I think will complement and, conflict against each other. And I do think we might actually cancel ourselves out. What I think it will be just our quality of player won't be as good and won't be able to match Tottenham, I think, in them key moments. I think you'll just have that clinical edge that we're just lacking at the minute. I think that you feel like you guys have got your style of play implemented a little bit quicker than us. I think Anne just managed to get that done pretty quickly, which is always helpful. I think Vincent's just taken that little bit longer because, again, we've signed a hell of a lot of players from last season. We signed a lot of players last season. We've signed even more players this season. So it's just, again, it's another cycle of changes. So we're just getting to grips with that. A couple of players that I think you should watch out for, to be honest with you, are Zeki Amdouni. He's a very tricky wide man. He's good with using his body to sort of shift players and get other opposition players to do what he wants them to do, and he can get past a couple of players without doing very much. I think we've got Koleosho on the other side that is rapid. He's very good, straight line speed, and he's good in tight spaces also, and he can get out of really difficult situations. Just hoping he can start finding an end product soon, to be honest with you. Lyle Foster, our front man from South Africa, he's got his first goal last weekend. He's a big, strong brute of a striker, but he also can play a little bit. He's not an old school brute of a striker. He's sort of got that about him, but he can actually play football. So he's one to watch out for. But I think I think on the whole, I think our team and our players are very different to what Spurs have probably faced against Burnley in the past. We've got a very different outlook on football now, a very different type of player that we have. So it'll be a bit of an eye opener, I think, for Spurs fans to see how very different we do look as a team. As for Postecoglou, I think he's been a breath of fresh air at Tottenham. I think he's been exactly what you've needed. I think you've now got a manager that he's done the hard miles as a manager. He's learnt his stripes. He's gone the long way around it, and he's now at a club that he feels like is his sort of crowning glory. He wants to be there. It feels like he wants to be at the club. He wants to push Tottenham forward, and he's got his style of play over the line pretty early doors. I think you can see pretty clearly that they've got an identity at Spurs now, and it's a very attacking style of football. And he carries himself so well as a manager. He speaks really clearly. He's not, he's very humble. He likes to crack a joke on interviews. He's not. I think he's potentially going to be your signing of the summer, I think, to be honest. And he's proving his worth already. You've had a great start to the season. And I think it's down to Ange. I think he's managed the whole Harry Kane situation superbly. He's not let it distract him. And like I say, he's just got that style of play in early doors, and he knows what he wants to do, and the players are responding, which is key. I think it could have gone really wrong where the players didn't respond to him, but they're responding. He's getting a tune out of some players that other managers couldn't get a tune out of. So I think Poch, you've got a good one there, and I think if you nurture him and back him when you need to back him and get behind him when you need to, I think he'll come good for you, and he will win you some trophies at some point in the near future. Couple of players that I'm concerned for about Saturday personally is James Maddison. I think, again, superb signing. I think you've got him for a really good price. He's a phenomenal player. I think he's got the ability to unlock most teams and break teams down and get goals against anyone. And I think he might get a little bit of freedom, might possibly get too much freedom against us. I think he will find himself having a bit of a field day against us, if I'm really honest. He'll find pockets of space that we might give him once, especially when we're in sort of phases of transition and our team's a bit out of shape and stuff. We will give him a bit of time. But I also like your keeper. I think we're not clinical enough. I don't think every time we go forward to get past your keeper. I think he's had a really good start. I'm not convinced he can play with the ball at his feet as well as you want him to, but I think that'll come within time. But I think we won't beat him as easily as we want to. I think we're not as clinical to get past him. He's a very good shot stopper. So I think, Maddison and your keeper, the name escapes me, and I'm sorry for that. It's bad preparation on my part of that. But my James Maddison, your keeper, are definitely the ones I'm fearing a little bit most on Saturday. I think they're going to give us the most frustration in the game. As for Burnley and what would be a good season for us, I've got two hats on. I've got the old pessimistic Burnley fan in me that just always will be there, no matter what, no matter how big and successful this club gets or what. And I've got the whole football romantic and Vincent's taking us all the way hat. So I think the football pessimist in me is that it's just 35 points, 17th. Take it. That's a great season. We'll have it. But then I also think under this new regime and the players we've brought in and Vincent, I think he's gonna really kick us on, and I think we're gonna get some good results in this league. And I think we're going to press on, and I do think we'll have a decent sort of mid-table finish. I think we're going to finish between 10th and 13th, and I think that'll be an exceptional season, but I do think that'll be a realistic season for us going forward. Once our system clicks into place, and it'll be very, very good. Predicted lineup, I think it'll probably be no change from the Villa game. So you've got the front three of Koleosho, Amdouni and Foster. Then you'll probably have... this is not front three, it's probably Foster on his own, and then you've got Amdouni, Koleosho, and the other name escapes me. But yeah, basically the Aston Villa fixture, you'll probably be similar to that. I think he's found his starting 11. Now that could change between now and then, where if we bring a couple of players in that we're after, if we've got a couple of players we are targeting that do come in, I think they may start. And as for the score prediction, I think it'll be a tight game, and I think it'll be a 1-1. I think we'll have two teams that'll potentially cancel each other out. I think we'll score first, but I don't think we'll be able to hold on to the lead. I think you guys just will get one back. But I think the Burnley fan in me wants it to be a draw. I would be surprised if Tottenham won, but I do think I'm hoping for a draw, and I think that might be the most likely outcome. If I was a betting man, I'd probably put the money on a goal scoring draw. So cheers, guys. I hope that's good enough for you, and I'll speak to you soon.